I had a really great Uber driver today. And it's kind of interesting. I'm a firm believer in if you open yourself up to the possibilities of miracles, of miraculous conversations, of meaningful experiences, they just kind of happen. So I'm here in not so sunny Atlanta right now. I love Atlanta. And my Uber driver picks me up from the airport. It's about a 35-minute drive at the most. And he looks in the rearview mirror and asks me a little bit about myself and what I do. And, I told him my background, that I'm a nurse. And he said, I just started driving Uber in the last couple of weeks. And I said, oh, really? Why? And he said, well, I had kind of a life changing experience and it was something I wanted to share with others. And I figured Uber was the best way for me to meet people, to talk to them about it, because I don't really have a lot of other ways to connect to people. And so that really caught my interest. And I said, well, if you don't mind me asking, what's your life-changing experience that you had? He goes, no, I don't mind you asking at all. He goes, if anything, I think that's the why we were brought together. That's why we were brought together today. He said, I have a type of pancreatic cancer that's very, very aggressive. He said, and I probably only have 3, maybe 6, 8 months to live. Now, that wasn't what I was expecting. I think I was expecting him to tell me he lost his job and that's why he's driving, or he's having a kid. I just kind of, looked in the mirror and I said, I'm so sorry. He said, it's funny, I'm not sorry. And I just paused and I said, okay, why? If you don't mind me asking. He said, we're all gonna die. And I've lived a really fun life. There's a lot of things that I wish that I could do, but I'm not going to get to do them, at least not in this life, not on this earth. He said, but as soon as I got this diagnosis, the first thing that occurred to me was I've wasted a lot of my time. He said, I'm 48 and I'm not going to make it to 50. And he said, I feel like too many people are wasting their time. People are scrolling on their phones, maybe like recording videos on TikTok, on social media, on YouTube, on whatever. But he said, people are so not connected to other people. He said, and life is so short, it's such a gift. And he goes, I don't know a lot of people. I'm not a public speaker. And frankly, I don't have the time for that. And he goes, I'm not really very comfortable with social media, or I'd go on social media and I'd talk about this. He said, but that's one day I was praying and the prayer came to me, drive Uber. And every day you'll meet a bunch of people and some of them will want to talk to you, some of them won't. He goes, so you're one of the people that's going to talk to me. And he said, I'm dying and I just want to let you know life is short. He said, you have people that you love. I said, I definitely do. He said, have you told them that you love them today? I said, some of them. He said, why not all of them? And I felt stupid saying I'm busy to a man that's got a few months to live. But I said, I guess I told myself that I was busy. He goes, if you only knew you had a few months left, would you tell them all that you loved them? And I paused and I said, I would. He said, all right, so for me, would you do that? I said, of course. And he said, do you feel that you're a kind person? I said, I'd say most of the time. He goes, when are you not kind? I said, probably when I'm tired or when I'm not focused. And he goes, or when you're not present. I said, or when I'm not present. He said, that's the one thing that dying helps you to be, and that's present. He said, I feel present. I feel like every moment matters. This conversation matters. He said, the next moment's gonna matter. But in this moment right now, I'm present. And he said, I find that when I'm present, it's so much easier to be kind. And that just kind of stopped me in my tracks. And then he said, are you grateful for some things? I said, I'm grateful for a lot of things. He said, do you think about what you're grateful for? Do you reflect on it? Do you write it down? I said, well, I do journal. I do write it down, but I probably could think about it more. He said, think about it a lot. He said, think about it all the time. He goes, think about it right now. What are you grateful for? And I said, I'm grateful you're my Uber driver. And he said, well, Rich, I'm grateful you're my passenger. What else are you grateful for? And I said, I'm grateful for my kids. I'm grateful for my job. I'm grateful for my wife. I'm grateful for what I have in my life, what I have to give, I just rambled a bunch of things. And I said, what are you grateful for? And he said, I'm grateful that even though my life is going to be cut short, I'm grateful that I have the awareness to communicate this message. I'm grateful that people like you might remember me. And I said, no, I'm definitely going to remember you. And he said, that would mean a lot to me. And this total stranger driving this car, his right hand, he reached back to like take my hand. And I shook his hand and I held his hand. And I said, you said you're not on social media. And I said, but I am. And I told him, about my following that I have on some platforms. And he thought that was really cool. And at a stoplight, I showed him. And he said he was going to follow me. And I asked him if he wanted to do a video. I asked him, I said, do you want to record this? Do you want to do a video? I mean, I'd put it on my platform. And he said, no, I don't want to. He said, what do you do on yours? Do you do like comedy? Do you do like cooking? Do you do like animal stuff? I said, I have like a kind of an interesting niche. I kind of do a little of everything. He goes, well, maybe you could do this, and I'll look for it. And he goes, I'll like it. And that's it, because I don't want any attention. I don't want people feeling sorry for me. I don't want my name out there. I don't. He goes, I feel like everybody that I come across from now until I say goodbye to this life, I just want to let them know, be present, be grateful, be kinder, and let people that you love know that you love them. And then we got to my hotel, and I wish that the drive was longer. I wish that the drive was longer. But every drive comes to an end. So I gave my friend 5 stars and the biggest tip that I could. And I thanked him. And we exchanged information. So I have his phone number. And he told me it's okay if I text him once in a while. And I'll just say his name was Ted. So if you want to say a prayer for Ted, and if he does like this, maybe in the comment section, just say, I'm grateful for you, Ted. Because right now I'm grateful for you, Ted. Okay, well, you're awesome.